Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you over there? Our expert is Freestyle Friday, right? So we are we're getting ready to have a good old country time. I have y'all. I need to put y'all into a further. I'm gonna correct this because I want to make sure that I get y'all in the right bubbles over there. Voila! And there you have it. How are you all today?
Very well.
Great. I'm going to put you, Tracy, up there and put myself down there, hold you to a higher esteem. I would put you Wootens up there too, but my template doesn't allow that.
It's
Sorry.
all good.
So
We're all good.
Right there with me. Okay. Listen, we're getting ready to have a great time. We want to share so many tips with you that some of our experts have put together for you, and we don't want to miss a beat. So go ahead and let us know where you're visiting in from. Also, if you are interested in coming into today's broadcast, all you have to do is use this link right here and it will pop you in. We've had some people doing that, which is quite exciting to me. So make sure that you use this link. It'll pop you right into the broadcast. Even if you want to cancel your camera out, that's fine. But we'd love for you to pop in and ask your questions directly of our experts. So is everybody like biting at the bit to be like, ooh, me first, me first? All right. Who wants to go first? Instead of me just, okay, Miss Vicki L. Evans is going to take the lead here. And we are so excited to have you. But let's do this first. Let's take a quick commercial break. Then give you a moment to get your glasses. And I didn't know if you were going to throw a hat on. What today? What hat are you wearing today, Miss Vicki L. Evans?
I was like, I'm just going to go natural.
Oh, well, first of all, just so everyone knows, Vicki L. Evans is our woman of many hats expert. So we don't know what hat she's going to wear that day because she deals with domestic violence as an advocate. She's also a multiple, literally author of multiple books. Know Your Worth is one that I'm totally in love with. You got to know your worth. And then she is also a playwright, and she is going to talk about that more during her segment. So welcome, Vicki L. Evans.
Thank you.
I said I'm going to take a commercial break. I got so hyped up about introducing you. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and hear from our very own Vicki L. Evans.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, we are back. We are back with Ms. Vicki L. Evans. So, Vicki, talk to us. What do you have for us today?
Look, I even ran and got my hat.
You can work a hat. I tell you that right now. You can work a hat.
Got my hat. I said, let me just wear my hat. It matches my little burgundy in here anyway.
Well, I'll put you in the middle. Every person that speaks, I'll throw you right in the center so that we can see you. Go ahead.
Okay. So first, I want to say thank you so much, Kim, for the opportunity to be on. And I want to say hello to all the experts. How you guys doing? Hey there. And I also want to say hello to the studio audience. It is such an awesome opportunity to be here today. So what do I want to talk to you about today? So today I have my I'm gonna motivate you hat on. I'm gonna motivate you today.
Yes.
Now, if you just woke up this morning just feeling like, oh my God, I mean, it's just not my day. Well, I want to tell you that you're beautiful and it is your day. And we're entering into the Thanksgiving season. And look at me, I got my autumn colors on, my gold and my burgundy. So I just wanted to just empower you and let you know that this is a good day to be here. I am still here. I say that every day. I am still here. As a suicide survivor, that is an important statement for me. I am still here. So today, I want to talk to you exactly about Thanksgiving. Next week, we know it's the holiday that we observe as Thanksgiving. It's always this wonderful time of celebration with our families and whatnot. So I think it's so important that we acknowledge our families during this holiday season. Kim, if you could pull up that photo that I sent you.
Yes, there we have
Okay.
it.
This photo represents who I am as a person. I am so glad. My maiden name is Ellis. I am so glad to be an Ellis. And these are some Ellis women, except the lady in the black. That's my friend Teresa. So, I mean, that word, that name to me. Now, I've been married twice, and unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, divorced twice. But I will always be an Ellis. I will always, that's my maiden name. It's in my blood. So I just want to acknowledge the Ellis family, the Ellis women today, because
Hey,
they're
Ellis
strong.
crew.
Yes. Hey, women, Ellis women. The lady, I don't know which way you're looking, but she's on the end, opposite the lady in the black dress. That's my Aunt Jackie. And my Aunt Jackie, she has a new residence. She's in heaven, but the thing that I want to acknowledge about her that she had strong faith. She was a woman of faith and she walked in that accordingly. So it gave me strength and it gave me the faith that I have today. I gleaned it from women like Aunt Jackie. The other two ladies that are next to me, I'm the lady in the green dress. The other two ladies next to me are my cousins, Rita and Margie. And the reason that I mention those, our parents taught us to be a strong family, to always stick together. And so as cousins, yes, to always families should always stick together. They should, I mean, we're always going to have differences. We have different personalities, we have different traits, but we should always stick together. And so as young people, as toddlers, as early as our toddlers, we spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house, a lot of time. And so my grandma Lola, she was the matriarch in our family. She kept us all together, kept us all knitted together. Now, my dad had 7 other siblings, so it was 8 of them all together. And so, and then it's just a ton of grandkids and friends. My grandma Lola had this small house and we were all packed into that house all together. And no one felt left out. No one felt unloved because my grandma Lola had enough love for all of us to make us all feel like we were special and her favorite. And yes, we did. We all of us felt like we were her favorite. And in that house, even though it was small, love lived there. And when
love,
yes, when
that's
love,
huge.
Yes.
What you're saying is so wait, because you're saying some things, but the way that you're saying them is so profound, and it's something that we can't just like rush through and get it out.
So let me slow down.
This is some good stuff that you're saying. One thing that I heard you say is that your family was taught to love each other, regardless
Absolutely.
of what the differences are. I want you to just talk about that for a little bit more right there, just that one point.
Because my grandmother, she would always see the best in us no matter what. And we had some family members, we all have those cousins or whatever who don't always comply with the rules as prescribed. But my grandmother did not make them feel like outcasts. We still had to love them even in their differences, even in their weaknesses. We still had to love them. Yes, and my father stressed that too. He was one of those people. His words were, family is everything. Everything.
And family is everything. And so
Yes.
I wanted to ask a question, and panelists, you all feel free to ask questions as well. And in the studio audience, if you have one, while we're talking about family, the holidays, loving on family, loving them regardless of their differences, do you have to be with the family member if you know that there might be potential harm that can happen in the situation? Or can you still love them from afar, even though you genuinely love them, but you may not be able to hang out together based on some things that might happen when you get together? Anybody? I know we're gonna keep on with your points too, Vicky.
Of course, I definitely agree with that. I mean, wisdom is always the principal thing in everything that you do. And I mean, in everything that you do. Now, if you know that it's going to cause you some harm, possible harm, of course, it's okay to love from a distance.
Right.
But the operative word here is to still love. Love from a distance is still love. But okay, so we're going to look at it from a different lens at this particular time for our, for safety's sake or for the sake of the others around. We might have to love you, Charlie, from a distance, but we still love you, Charlie. And we want you to understand that we still love you, because one thing that we can recognize is that none of us have a choice of our families. We were born into these situations, right? But I still believe that God knew. He knew who he was putting together and why he was putting us together. So you guys, the ones that have this bright light that likes to shine on those folks, so that maybe that light will bring them to a point where they will one day say, okay, I want to change.
I love that advice, Vicky. I love that. Our light, let it shine on those that we know may be experiencing that right
let
there
it shine. You never know. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to be kind. It is so absolutely free. It costs you nothing to be kind. And you never know how that kindness is going to touch somebody else. So
I love it.
I just say that.
I think that you shared such great words of wisdom on this Freestyle Friday. Everybody, let's hashtag Vicky L. Evans. We need that to be trending anyway, because it's something happening. This Vicky L. Let's put Vicky L. Evans and hashtag that, everybody, please, because she has something really big happening. I know she's going to be talking about it on future Freestyle Fridays, but just make a little mention of it right now, Vicky, if you can. Go ahead.
Well, one thing that is really important for me, and I've been really hashtagging this lately, is understanding my assignment. I think everybody here on earth has an assignment, and it's important that we understand, because we are not here by accident. We're all here because we have a divine purpose. So my divine purpose is to empower and inspire others through the performing arts and also through the literary arts, which is books. But my main love, I just have to say, I love writing plays, and I write message plays. It's not just, I mean, I don't knock people who just make funny jokes and things, but my plays are a message to the people so that you can know that you can change. You can also know that others out there are supporting you, and we're always trying to raise awareness. So I have a stage play called The Gift. And it is a musical, but it is a modern day Good Samaritan play. And it's centered around our homeless neighbors, because so many times they are overlooked, walked by, ignored, rejected. So it's centered around our homeless neighbors. And what it is, it's about a bishop who is mugged en route to a wonderful Christmas revival celebration. Unbeknownst to the people who invited him, who had never seen him, they passed him on the street and ignore his cries for help.
That's crazy.
Yes, but the homeless neighbors, a homeless man, a bag lady, and two runaway teenagers, they feed him, they offer him a sleeping bag, and they tend to his wounds. And so the whole premise of the play is some gifts come in unexpected packages. And so we're doing this awesome, fabulous play on March the 12th at the Bloomingthal. Yes, the Bloomingthal Performing Arts Center, the Booth Playhouse. And we invite you to come and to experience this wonderful play. I call it a concert within a play, because they have some awesome singers. Oh my God. 3 of the songs I wrote personally, Mr. Wooden, 3 of the songs I wrote personally. So yeah, you get a chance to experience my talent as a songwriter. And there are some great actors. So please mark your calendar. You don't want to miss it. March the 12th, 2022, 7:30 p.m., the Booth Playhouse. I hope to see you there. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it.
You definitely don't want to miss it, everybody. So there you have it. Vicki L. Evans just shared so many great tips. We popped all of the tips right here in the comment section, so you'll be able to see those throughout the broadcast. Go ahead, Vicki.
I just want to emphasize one other thing. And I mentioned it earlier, that I am a suicide survivor. There are people who are entering this holiday season alone. They don't have friends, or they may have friends, but they may be in a position where they're alone. And sometimes that will invoke depression and other suicidal thoughts or things like that. So I want to say to everybody that's listening, check on your friends. Check on your family. Make sure they're good. Make sure that they're okay. Because when it comes to those thoughts, sometimes it's just that one more thing that takes them over. And I talk about that in my book, Gracefully Broken. Sometimes it's just that one thing that overloads and overwhelms them, that causes them to kind of head in that direction. So while you're celebrating and having a good time, which you should with your families, also check on your friends, check on your families who may be alone, and just let them know that they are loved, they are not alone. And my last and final thoughts are, you are not alone, you are loved. God loves you, and so do I, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Yes, God loves you, and so do we here on the Kim Jacobs Show, and all of the experts here. If you don't have any other love, I can tell you what, you got some love from us. So you can reach out to any of us on social media, and we will love you back. Trust me. Okay. Snow Legal is one of our episode sponsors today, 704-358-0026. And make sure that if you're dealing with personal injury, or you know a family or friend member that's dealing with a personal injury situation in the North Carolina, South Carolina area, give them a call and let them know that we did send you their way. And today's episode is also sponsored by Lamb Funeral Home. Lamb Funeral Home is located in the Concord, North Carolina area, but they have been certified in all 50 states. With over 700,000 people passing away due to COVID, we need to know that there is a truly caring funeral home that wants to serve your needs, especially if you're dealing with veteran issues and you're not sure. The owner of Lamb Funeral Home is a veteran, over 28 years of experience, and they're eager to serve your needs. And I do want to just make sure that you get a visual of where you can go to learn more. It's lambfuneral.com, lambfuneral.com. And when you go there, let them know again that Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. 704-782-3011. Mr. Lamb can tell you about everything: adult dependent benefits for veterans, spouse benefits as well. Just give them a call and say, hey, the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. So we're going to take a moment right now and hear from our sunshine expert, Miss Athena Robertson. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How
Good
is
morning to you.
everybody? Thank you, thank you.
Tell us what you have for us today as you bring some
Man,
sunshine.
it's always a pleasure to be on the Kim Jacob Show. So thank you to my sister Kim. Always I'm so grateful to God for the opportunity, and it's so good to see Miss Tracy, Miss Vicky, and the Wootens. Oh man, a great vibe and beautiful, great, awesome, amazing people to be amongst. And so today, what I've been working on, because Miss Vicky wanted to start a fire, so we got to
Right,
keep
right.
it
You know it.
moving.
You know it.
She put on her hat. She went and got her hat, and she set the tone already. So I'm just gonna jump right on in. What's on my heart to share with everyone is. We go through the different seasons of life as usual. That's life. That's how we grow and strengthen.
Yes.
And as this fall season coming up on the winter season, what I want to talk about is are you protecting your heart? Put a coat on your
Wow.
put a coat on your heart. Let that sink in. You have to guard your heart. You have to guard your heart. And nobody could take care of your heart better than you can do. And God gives us all. He gives us life and beyond, so much more, but we have to learn how to protect our heart. And when I speak to y'all, I'm speaking to myself too. This was so for me. I started this note, this vision, this thought about protecting your heart. It came about November the 5th, but here we are, November the 19th. I get a chance to now share it with you all. So I had a chance to chew on it, to think about it, and always I'm gonna start it off. So what comes out of me saying protect your heart, and from a spiritual standpoint, I would say two scriptures that came to my mind when I say guard your heart and protect your heart is Proverbs 4:23, which says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Everything. So you got to guard your heart. You got to know how to take care of your heart. Before anybody else could take care of your heart, you got to take care of your heart. Miss Vicky already said it. Love. Love is an action word. And once you do that, once you know to take care of your heart, once you know to protect your heart and to guard your heart, then you can love someone else. Then you can show others how to love. Because how
That's
many
right.
times, how many of us know at times we have to be the example. We have to show that I love Miss Vicky, I love Miss Tracy, I love my sister Kim, I love the Wootens. That's all that matters. That is it. There's nothing else to come behind that. Hey, we all bleed the same. So guard your heart. Put a coat on your heart. It could be red, purple, green, yellow, whatever kind of coat you want. Cover that thing on up. Let it marinate. Let it season so that you can share with others. Why? Because we're in the Thanksgiving season. We are in the gratitude season of loving one another. I so agree with Miss Vicky. This is the time in the season. You know somebody out there that needs love. It don't take a minute to call them up. It don't even take a minute to drive by. I got a car. I'll come to you. I'm gonna call you. You don't answer me, I'm coming through. I'm just saying, hey, I
And
love you.
you do. You
I
literally
love
do.
you.
You're not just saying that. You literally do.
Somebody knows I will pull up on you and love on you. And the second scripture is from Proverbs 27:19. It says, as a face is reflected in the water, so is the heart reflects of the real person. What we put in our heart is what's going to come out. Hopefully, it's a loving season, it's a warm season. Everybody should show love. Sometimes that's not always the case. And if that's not, it's okay. Because guess what? You have a chance to show up and show out. You have a chance to be the leading role model and say, hey, let me show a little bit of love over here. Let me love on you. Let me rub off on you a little bit. And then it all collectively come together. And this word, y'all, when I say trust me and believe, it ain't nothing more and nothing greater than you protecting your heart and loving yourself first. And then I'm telling you, it's the best thing. It's the best thing. And in that, I gotta say, I got a whole back piece to it. I already got you. I'm glad y'all asked me why. Because
Why?
out of you loving your heart, out of you showing love and gratitude, then comes the joy. And you can embrace the joy in that moment. Embrace the joy in that moment. Like I'm eager every day. Every day God wakes me up to see a whole new day, to set many blessings and promises upon me. I am excited. I come to work with a burst of energy. I leave work with a burst of energy because life continues to go on. Work was work. Now I go home and I got to be a mom and love on my 2 children that I ain't seen for X amount of hours and let them know that they are loved. And then, my mom and dad is funny. My mom called me this morning right before I came backstage. She said, "Hey," I said, "Hey, Mom." I said, "I'm getting ready for the show." She said, "Well, I just had to call and tell you. I was jealous. You called your daddy and you didn't call a house phone to speak to me." All that love, y'all.
Why would you do that?
All that love. I said, "Mom, you're my number one fan. Stop. I love you. You are my number one partner in crime." I love my mom and dad, beautiful people. I love the Robertsons so much. That's my mommy and daddy. But I truly thank God for love. And that's what I just wanted to bring the ray of sunshine to you, and to spread love, and to say, in this season, let's give love. But in this season, put a coat on your heart. Protect your heart.
Good. That's good. And I had a question, and anybody else, I'm going to pop all of your comments and stuff. I see a lot of comments coming in, and I will pop them in. Continue to tag people and invite them in to today's discussion. I just want to make sure we don't run out of time. So that's the only reason I'm making sure that we keep it moving and like kind of managing the whole process here today. But listen, when you think about your heart, I can only speak for myself. Almost like God gives me a warning. I literally get like a little twinge or a tingling or a sensation or something. I don't know whether it's physical, what's happening, but I do know that I feel something. When I feel that, no matter what I have going on, and I promise you, it is an indication for me that, Kim, something's not necessarily going the way that it needs to be functioning right. Go take a nap, sweetie. Go, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to y'all, but I'm talking to me, Kim. Go take yourself a nap, rest, go sit on the porch. Go sit on the deck. Do whatever you need to do. Just go. You want some milkshake? I don't know if that's good for your heart rate. Never mind. Anyway, the point is some Krispy Kreme. Whatever make you happy. Go do a little quick shopping spree at one of your little favorite spots. Whatever it takes for me to get my mind. I read. Yesterday, I read about 90 something pages in a book I was reading because I felt like a little bit of tension, and I decided, you know what? I put my glasses on. And I sat down and I read that book. And when I finished reading those 90 some pages, I'm telling you, I felt like a burden had been lifted off of me. And I felt so much better. So there are times as we're balancing our lives that we need to hear our bodies, hear our heart trying to speak to us to say, take a moment, relax, do what's fun for you a little bit, just incorporate some aspect of what's fun for you. I mean, if you say that it's fun for you to go to the movies, for me, it's very fun to go to the movies. And not all the time does everyone want to go to the movies with me. Well, guess what I'll do? I will get in the good car. Vicky, all I got to do is call you, and then we can be at the movie. Hello, I just came up with a solution because I am going to the movies this weekend to see King Richard. Okay, I go with y'all to these Marvel movies all the time. I'm yelling loud in there so everybody can hear me in the house. I go with y'all to all these Marvel movies all the time. Time they come out, go to the Marvel. Well, I want to see King Richard. Nobody wants to roll with me? I'm going to call you. Vicky, Athena, Tracy, you and Charlotte. I'm be like, I'm going right here. Let's roll. I'll meet y'all. Roll up, Athena. But I just say that to encourage you all to say, whatever is fun for you, make sure you incorporate it into your life, okay? All right. So thank you, Athena Robertson. Let's see. Let me put your contact information back up so that everyone knows how to stay connected with Athena. Athena is Red Honey, Honii. You know she spelled it differently. Red Honey 7, the number 7 on Instagram, and she's a notary express public, an express notary public, which means that she will come to you. So you don't have to do anything. It's like a one-stop shop. Call her, say, hey, I'm over here. And that's why she liked to roll up, because she's used to doing that anyway as a notary public. You can do that, and you can reach her at 980-200-5740, and that's Athena Robertson. And let me go back and also share the contact information for Vicky. We put so many comments here and thoughts that you can actually go back and look at later after the broadcast. Go back and check those out, and also about the play that's coming up at the Booth House Theater, Blumenthal Theater on March 12th. I don't want to just brush over you all as experts and things that y'all are sharing here. Our sponsors are in here as well, so make sure you take a moment to learn more about each of our episode sponsors today, and they're in the comment sections for each of you. And let's see, I see some comments coming. I see some of y'all as our experts popping some stuff in, which is awesome. Let's see. I gotta make sure I don't mention. Oh, hey, Patricia said I'm finally able to tune in.
That's Miss Pat. That is the clerk, our clerk and the mother of our church, Miss Pat, the fellowship place. Love her. Love my church family.
Mother Patricia.
Yeah.
We're so glad to have you, Ms. Mother Franks. And it is such an honor and a privilege to have you in the virtual studio audience today. Welcome, welcome. And I see you're Athena's guest, so welcome. Let's see here. Anybody else? I see a lot of comments. I hope I'm not. Oh, you know what? I got my new glasses. Let me put my little glasses on. Hold on.
I have one more thing to share.
I got me some red glasses, y'all. Woo! Girl, you look good. Okay, let's see.
Yes,
know your worth. You don't need nobody else to celebrate you. Celebrate yourself. My mom say good morning. Happy Thanksgiving to you all.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mom Ella.
Good morning to you all. Your mom is listening, Athena.
Yes.
You notice she didn't say mom and dad. She like, I better worry about myself now since this chick didn't call me this morning. She said mom is she normally say mom and dad are listening. I caught that. All right, my mom is on as well. She's on. Let's see. I see people saying from Facebook, you didn't give your name permission to be used. But hey, Vicky.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Okay. I see your comments. We'll keep them pouring in throughout the broadcast, so keep them coming. And I saw Arnetta Caldwell. I see somebody say, hey, sunshine expert.
Hi.
Patricia said, amen. Okay, somebody said, I love y'all from Facebook. Glad to have you, Facebook.
Glad to have
We
you.
love you too.
I love you all. Arnetta Caldwell said, hello, everyone.
We love you, Arnetta.
Yes.
And actually, with Arnetta, I do want to take a moment right now to let you know that she sent in a video. And as one of our experts, she's the expert that talks about healing from a broken heart. And she goes through this journey through her book on how you can heal. And especially with the holidays happening here, y'all, I want you to hear from Arnetta Caldwell now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Kim Jacobs, for having me here today on Freestyle Friday. Well, I wanted to stop by today and ask you all a question. How many of you have a vision plan for your life? Well, I want to share with you a time when I did not have a vision plan for my life. I was going through a devastation of a divorce, and I was heartbroken and shattered to pieces, to where I lost my self-identity, to where there was many days that I didn't even want to move forward. And even during that time, I started to reflect on my past. How many of us do that? I started to think about my childhood when I was molested as a little girl, going in and out of foster care for a period of time, the teen pregnancy. I did not realize at that time I was only digging myself deeper down into despair and pain. But the turning point for me was my little girl at the time. She was 7 and she said, Mommy, let's create a vision board. And I did it with her. And I want to stop by to tell you all, it has changed my life. Just getting clear on a vision plan. And it even says it in the word of God. It comes out of Proverbs 29:18. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Can I be real with all of you? I was perishing. There were so many days I didn't even want to get up out of the bed. So I wanted to drop by today and let you know, if you're going through a heartbreak, if you're going through a trial and tribulation, maybe it's not something in a marriage or in a relationship. Maybe you're going through something on your job, maybe something with the pandemic. I want to encourage you today. I wanted to give you 3 tools on why it's important for you to have a vision plan for your life. Number 1, you want to see where you want to be. It's not about where you currently are, because you have to realize and know that this is just a season. This is not your forever place. Because when God created you, he created you with a purpose and a plan. Number 2, seeing is believing. When you cut out pictures of the things you want, maybe you say, you know what? I want to be an author. I'm going to write my story. And that's exactly what I did. When I was going through that divorce, God said, I need you to write. And I said, God, there's no way you want me to write. But you know what? Here it is. I wrote my story, A Journey to a Healed Heart, Healing Through a Painful Divorce, when I share my story to not only, this wasn't for me, but it was for me to help other women that was going through. So you have to know that he is going to use your pain for your purpose. But number 3, it's all about you moving forward. Stop looking at your past. You need to look at your future. Because a lot of times, I heard it best said that who really frames their future? I mean, we all frame our past. If you look around our houses, we have pictures of the family, the kids, the graduations, the marriages, but we never frame our future. It's time for you to get clear. It's time for you to move forward. And I know it hurts. I know when you're going through something as heart-wrenching as a heartbreak, believe me, I know. I am a living testimony. It's all because of the grace of God why I am here and I was able to overcome. And I know, and I'm speaking this over your life, you will overcome as well. And because of my daughter's faith, at the time she was 7, and she said, create that vision board. Now I am the creator of the prayer vision box, where I share with other women and I teach them the power of getting clear. It's all about pray it, believe it, and see it. You have to believe it, getting clear and having your prayer vision board, the things that you're praying for, the things that you're believing for. So I want to ask you again, do you have a vision plan for your life? If you don't, it's time. It's time for you to get out of this rut. It's time for you to get unstuck. It's time for you to move forward. And I say this humbly and lightly to you. Yes, healing, it takes time. Give yourself time. But I want to tell you, you will get through. It's time for you to stop framing your past and look forward to your future. So if you would like to stay in contact with me, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Ernetta Caldwell. You can connect with me on my website at www.ernettacaldwell.com. And if you are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, I will be having a prayer vision box brunch where we would come together, create our prayer vision boards, because I'm believing that when we step into 2022, God has so much for you to do. Well, you all be blessed, and I love you all. Bye.
We love you too, Ernetta Caldwell. That was incredible. And thank you so much, Ernetta. And this is a prime example. I have a couple of people that are experts that have full-time jobs as well. And still, instead of allowing that to deter them from being an expert here on the Kim Jacobs Show, they still take a moment and send some footage in. So I just want to thank you for being one of our experts, and make sure that you all stay connected with Ernetta Caldwell at ernettacaldwell.com. And you can also follow her on all social media outlets at Ernetta Caldwell. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we're going to hear from Tracy, our reset coach. Talk to us, Tracy. How are you today?
I was on mute. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. What do you have for us today?
All right. So I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to come back on here again on this fun Freestyle Friday, because this is great. But the two powerhouses over there, they just set it off. And Miss Vicky, I need that hat. I'm having a bad hair day today. And that's I need that. But it's great to be here. Nice to meet two new people too. To the Wootons, welcome. Yeah, but you guys, listen, they set it off so right. I want to talk to you about protecting your heart also, but from a physical standpoint. I want to talk to you about protecting your body, especially during this holiday season. So there are things that we can do where we can still indulge in the things that we love, have our favorite foods, but then also make sure that we are protecting our health. We know we're in this pandemic. It is not going anywhere, and we need to be proactive about taking care of ourselves. So there's a few things that you can do. And I know you always hear people talking about eating healthy, but what does that really, really mean? So during this season, I want you to think about on Thanksgiving Day, have a really healthy breakfast. Maybe something like, a piece of avocado toast, and on that toast should be like some sprouted grain toast, a whole wheat toast, something that's not completely processed and has a lot of sugars and preservatives in it. Think about having a healthy lunch where you're getting a salad that has a plethora of vegetables, all the colors that you can think of vegetables, to get in all of those dense nutrients so you can have your good carbs, your good proteins, your good fats, so that you can allow your body to digest, get all of those vital nutrients that it needs. And then when you get into dinner, indulge a little bit. Indulge in that meal. You may have a little bit of extra sugar, a little bit of extra butter in that dinner, but you've protected your body for breakfast and for lunch. You're going to allow yourself to be able to digest, and then you're going to indulge a little. So think about doing that. But what I also want you to think about is when you are eating your Thanksgiving dinner, go for those foods that are homemade. And most of the time they are on Thanksgiving, thank God, right? Usually people are cooking with real ingredients, but go for the homemade instead of the processed food. So then you'll knock out some of the hormones that's in the food, some of the preservatives, a lot of the sugar, a lot of the sodium. So make sure that you are going for that homemade goodness. And if you are doing the cooking, I want you to think about substituting a little bit healthier ingredients for some of those other ingredients. So instead of using processed refined sugars, go for those beet sugars or those coconut sugars or that pure unprocessed honey or 100% maple syrup that doesn't have any added sugar included in it. Or use things like mashed bananas or mashed avocados that are going to give you some healthiness, but still give you the consistency and the sweetness in the food that you want. So think about that. And then also add a lot more fruits and vegetables to those meals so that you can get in all of those vital nutrients that we talked about earlier. So that's that part of it. And then I want you to make sure that you are staying hydrated, particularly if you are enjoying family and you're getting a little spirits and libations. You want to make sure that you're keeping your body hydrated because those things dehydrate the body. So as much as you're drinking little spirits, you want to make sure that you are also drinking a lot of water. Get that water in. And if you can, drink alkaline water so that you're bringing the electrolytes back into your body while you are also enjoying family, enjoying food, and enjoying some fun. So the other thing that I want to tell you about in protecting your body is make sure that you are getting some movement. We get a little relaxed during the holiday times because we're enjoying family. And a lot of times we don't go out there and do the things that we would normally do to get the movement. So if you can't get to the gym, work out inside. If you can't work out inside because you've got too many people moving around, work out outside. If you can't work out outside, then make sure that you just try to go take a walk, do something that's going to allow you to get a little bit of movement. You can do things like intermittent exercise where, 1 minute you're doing some jumping jacks and you stop and you enjoy the family. And you know what? Engage the family into that fun as well. Do that in the morning before everybody gets into that dinner time and you're all gathered around talking, but get that exercise in. And after dinner, engage the family to take a walk or don't scrap those Thanksgiving football games with the family. Don't scrap those Thanksgiving kickball games with the family. Go skating, whatever that is. Go shoot some hoops. If you have a hoop in your backyard or in your driveway, shoot some hoops, but engage the family and get everybody into that physical activity. You'll have fun and you'll be keeping your body healthy. All righty. And then the other thing that I wanted to tell you about is make sure that you're getting some good sleep before.
She's gonna answer your question, Athena. She's gonna answer your question in a second. You're in class and the teacher like, oh no, baby, I'm gonna finish this point before I start talking to you. Give me 1 second, sweetie.
I definitely will. I definitely will. But I wanted to tell you to make sure that you get some sleep the night before also, because you're just going to allow your body to rest and recover and allow your organs to be pumping and working really well so that when you go into Thanksgiving, you are up, you're ready, you're alert, you're vital. So you want to make sure that you're getting that sleep. So get that sleep beforehand. And then the last thing that I want to talk to you about is don't stress. No self-judgment, no guilt when you're going into the Thanksgiving holiday. Just do some of the things that you can that are going to allow you to keep your body healthy, but don't stress. No stress. There's no guilt in this. Go have yourself some fun with your family. Indulge in those things that you have typically loved and no guilt. And reset. That's why I'm the reset coach. Reset the next day. So make sure that you're getting up the next day and you're implementing the plan that you already had for yourself to make sure that you're staying healthy. Enjoy your holidays without the guilt, you guys.
Tracy, you funny. You like, we're gonna reset this thing. I'm gonna get these points out, and I make sure that y'all know what I'm saying before I start answering any of these questions. Y'all trying to type all the questions. All right, go ahead. What's your question, Athena?
Yes.
Okay, so I have two questions. My cousin Marcus had joined, so he was asking Tracy about what about stevia as a sweetener? Is that good?
Let me pull his comment. Oh, so you funny, Athena. See, you so funny, but you know what? I'm grateful that you are technically co-hosting the show, and that's a good thing. So that's another offer that I'll make to all of our experts. Feel free to come on when I have some other guests on, and you can co-host with me. I don't mind us doing that. I enjoy that opportunity. It'll give you something else to do in addition to you always volunteering to be an expert here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Why not come on and co-host with me sometimes?
I love it.
I know that would be fun, wouldn't it? You can play some music, Joseph. I'm forever trying to look for some copyright-free music, but I don't need no copyright-free because I got Joseph Wooten from the Wooten Brother Band and the Steve Miller Band. So why in the world do I need some copyright-free music when you could just come on and co-host and play your own music? Okay, I'm gonna keep it moving. Go ahead. So answer the question, Tracy.
Yes. So stevia actually is a good substitute. It is a natural sweetener. So if you are looking for a sweetener that you want to use, stevia is one of those better options. So definitely you can use that.
Okay, so let me go and pull his comments up. I see you, Marcus Green. Clearly, you have an agent right here on the show representing you. So he said, hey, cousin, talking to you. Yes, Tracy, I love this information. Ornetta said, what about stevia? You just answered that as a question. And then, hey, Marcus, thanks for joining. Love you, cousin. That's what Athena, she co-hosting. She's going to be co-hosting with me, y'all. So y'all can look for that coming up soon. Let's see. Is coconut water good hydration, although it has a lot of sugar?
So this is one of my favorites. Coconut water is really good hydration. You just have to make sure that you buy a coconut water that does not have added sugar. It's sweet all by itself. You don't need one with added sugar at all. But coconut water is loaded with electrolytes. It is one of the best for hydration.
Okay, excellent. And I think you're in the studio audience, Marcus, talking to somebody else down on the other side of the studio audience. So you said, hey, Mandy, girl, hey, Mandy Grant, I see you all the way over here. Okay, so I see, I'm in my own world, Vicky. I'm acting all the time, huh? You like, oh, good gracious, she's so dramatic. I'm in my own world, trust me.
Yes,
I'm having a ball. Marcus Green said thanks, and I see Mandy Grant. Hey, love you, cousin. So glad that you joined. Hey, Mandy. All right. Let's see. Thank you for answering the questions. Anybody else have any questions for Tracy, our reset coach, before we move on?
I got one comment. One comment
yes,
is that with other non-caloric sweeteners, monk fruit is another. Yeah, monk fruit is another sweetener that won't hit your pancreas. It won't drive your blood sugar up, and it's sweet as can be.
Yeah, it really is. I taste it's very sweet. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And it's no additional added sugars to it. It's just a natural sweetener. I love it. Everybody say, hey, to Trigina. Somebody said, Tajini said, hey, Tajini. Hey, everybody. Glad to have you all. So glad that you're tuned in today. Let's go to Joseph and Stephanie Wooten. How are you all today? Talk to us over there.
We are great.
We're doing just fine this morning.
Yeah.
Enjoying all this information.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
meant to do that with you, Tracy, and then I just got no. But you were going for it, so everybody was looking like this, like, what's she talking about? We got exercise, play football. We were all over in your bubble anyway. So go ahead, Joseph and Stephanie, talk to us together here.
Yeah, so just a side note, because I know we're going to be short on time here, but everybody is going to be gathering for Thanksgiving. And, one of the things that we focus on in my company is air quality and making sure people are safe in the environment. And we've gotten a lot more testimonials here since we've been on the show, since we have Geisinger Hospital, a children's hospital in Pennsylvania, that tested us and tested many products and chose us over everyone else. And right now we're in their NICU, we're in their OR, and they're going to put us everywhere. And so that test was pretty extensive. So pretty excited. Yeah. So here's the little unit. This is the mobile unit that we take with us everywhere we go. But we also have had some people. We just had a lady last week tell us that she's on an inhaler every day. And since she has had our device, she's no longer had to use her inhaler. So that's another testimonial that we've had. So we're pretty excited from that perspective of really seeing how we can help people. Because, we want people to be able to get together. You want to see your family, but you want to do it in a safe environment. And unfortunately, COVID is still here. You guys are hearing crazy cases of flu. I think University of Michigan has got numerous cases of the kids with flu. And so, these are just extra protections that you can have in your home when you've got everyone gathering. So anyway, side note on all that, but I'm going to let Joseph, talks a lot more than I do. So I'm going to.
Before you let Joseph talk, and I know you're trying to be all humble and submissive as the wife over there and everything, and I appreciate that because that's a blessing thing to be. But let me say, this product that Stephanie Wooten is talking about is a game changer, especially with so many people. Can you imagine that if people just had this Eagle X Pro product, it could clear some of the air according to the patents that they have, that they've been approved for, to help with ridding the air of the COVID-19 surrounding where you are and the perimeters where you are. So I just think that it's something that each person should take a look at. I know we have vaccines and boosters and everything, but definitely go to eaglexpro.com. I don't know if there's a way to say that they heard about you on the Kim Jacobs Show or not.
Yeah, just tell us that you heard about us, and that would be wonderful. One thing I want to mention, I did forget about. So Biden has actually moved some funds over to help nonprofits to help continue to stay open. So if you all have any churches, any medical facilities that are nonprofit, anything like from, veterans homes or what have you, just think about anything that's a nonprofit that has a building, they are eligible for these monies, and the monies are out there until the end of this year. And so we can help you apply for money, and they can receive our product at no cost because the government is financing it 100%. So
wow.
It's a phenomenal program. We're doing a lot of churches right now. Yeah, go ahead.
And where do they go for that?
Just, you know what? They just contact us, and we'll give them the links of what they've got to do, and we'll walk them through the whole process and what has to happen. So there's, as the government has said to me, there's a lot of money out there. We don't make it easy for you to get it, meaning you've got to follow the process. But when you follow the process, you are eligible for the funds if you are a nonprofit.
That's great. I really want people to know that. I'm going to tag some church people that I'm aware of too.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of churches right now.
Yeah.
And that's so big to be able to have people to come back to able to worship in person and feel safe about it.
That's phenomenal right there.
Right.
I'm hoping that a lot of people, I don't know, before we close out, I do want you to make that point one more time, because I'm tagging people that I think would be benefiting.
Yeah, so just anybody can come to Eagle X Pro. Just come to us, contacts. The phone numbers are out there. You can email us, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'll help you walk through the process and what you need to have in. Yep.
Excellent. Yep. So before we close out, we'll make that comment again. Let's hear from you, Joseph Wooten, from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Steve Miller Band and the Wooten Brothers Band, josephwooten.com and imatteryoumatter.com. Talk to us.
All right. I need to hire you as a publicist.
Hey, I'm available too.
Well, I always come to talk about history because it's important to know your history if you want to fully understand your current events. History is perspective. I know there's a lot of people that are afraid of what they call critical race theory, but I always say that if you went to your doctor for a checkup and your doctor didn't check your medical history, you would say that doctor was negligent because you can't fully understand what's wrong with you today.
That's right.
If you don't know how you got there. Right. So I'm a big fan of history, and I always like to look at what happened on this day in history. So I looked at November 18th and 19th in history. A few things. In 1493, Christopher Columbus discovered Puerto Rico. I don't know how you discover a place that's already got people in it, but you know what I mean? Some people seem to be able to get that credit. He discovered Puerto Rico. They were already singing and dancing, and he gets the credit. In 1620, the Mayflower reaches Cape Cod, and they start exploring up and down the East Coast. In 1797, Sojourner Truth was born. That's an approximate date because in 1797 she was still a slave, and they didn't really keep exact dates. They think that it was around that time. I think it's ironic her real name was not her real name, her born name was Isabella Baumfree, which almost sounds like Born Free. And she changed the name to Sojourner Truth. She's the one that said, ain't I a woman, basically. She was an abolitionist and a feminist. Ironically, when women got the right to vote, it was because of people like Sojourner Truth. Congress was never going to do it. What people don't know is that if 2/3 of state governments ratify something, it can become federal law. Tennessee was the last state that needed to ratify. And we know about Susan B. Anthony being a fighter for female rights. But when it came time for them to march on the streets of Tennessee to petition Tennessee, which was like the linchpin state, Susan B. Anthony and the white women told Sojourner Truth, don't you march with us, because if you march with us, they might not give it to us, which is, again, an example of oftentimes rights that are given to Black people even come to Black men before they come to Black women. So Sojourner Truth wasn't allowed to march on that. And so therefore, when women got the right to vote in the election of 1919, she wasn't part of those people that could vote. In 1935, Purvis Staples, father of Pop Staples, was born. He used to be in the Staple Singers back in the day. In 1949, Jackie Robinson was the MVP of the National League in baseball, which is ironic because when me and my brothers were recording that album that I showed you, part of it, the producer Kashif had bought Jackie Robinson's house. So we were actually living in his old home. There's a picture of him stealing home in the World Series. And
you're saying some old days, and for you to be, you don't look nowhere near whatever age you might be.
I'll be 60 in December. I'll be 60 years old in December. And I'll tell you about that in a second. But in 1951, Roy Campanella, ironically, the one that was complaining that Jackie Robinson was out when he stole home, was the MVP of the league in 1951. Wow. The one that I really want to talk about is in 1923, Governor John C. Walton of Oklahoma was removed. He was one of the few governors that was impeached and removed. And the reason he was removed was because this was in 1923. In 1921, the Tulsa Riots happened. And you're familiar with that. The Tulsa Black Wall Street. Those riots happened. And as it happens in the United States, people think that Black people most of the time are punished for what they do wrong. And history shows oftentimes Black people are punished for achievement. In this particular case, Black people did everything right. You don't want us to live with you, we'll live over here. We'll just give ourselves better schools. We got millionaires. We got pianos in our houses. We're driving cars. We got insurance. And a lot of the whites that were descendants of those that had lost the Civil War had moved west. So that mentality moved west with them. So when that riot happened, thousands of Black people were hurt, hundreds or thousands were killed. I think officially they listed the killing at 39. We know that it was more than that. So the governor, to quell it, declared martial law, and he suspended habeas corpus. And habeas corpus is a law that basically says, if you're arrested, you got to show us why. You can't just arrest us for anything like you used to. There has to be a reason. Well, he suspended it with martial law because the KKK was running wild.
Wow.
They really didn't like that because he was a Democrat. The KKK used to be a Democrat, you know, originated with the old Democrats back in the 1700s. So they were infuriated. And they removed him from office on this day in 1923. So the point what I'm trying to get to is that I remember my mom when we were young. My mom would say she was glad that she was born poor. She said, I'm glad I was born poor because there are things I wouldn't have learned if I weren't born poor. And I heard what's his name? Anyway, he says that Black people have the benefit of the struggle because the struggle is a force feeding of the truth that people who are born with privilege don't get. So, you know, if you have the benefit of the struggle, you can scream like James Brown because that scream means something, right? You can move with purpose because that movement means something, because you've been through some things that people who haven't struggled haven't been through, which is why the people who have been treated the worst are the teachers of this country. Whether they know it or not, whether they know it consciously or not, they know it. Look at everything that's cool about this country. Talk like us, dance like us, girlfriend, right? I was thinking earlier when Vicky was talking, and it was making me realize that, like, I'm the only I'm the only male here today, which makes me feel good because this country has always been held together by Black women. Always, even in the slavery days when Black women didn't have their own families, they were tasked with keeping a white family together and keeping together the family of whomever was left, which is why in the culture of Black people, we have such a deep attachment to family because it was the only thing we had, even when we didn't have our physical family. Even when we didn't have our physical family. That's why Thanksgiving means so much more to us, because it emphasizes the thing that held us together even when we didn't have the benefit of our physical families. Because the actual holiday doesn't really apply to us. You know what I mean? The actual holiday ain't even really that true, right? but family is true. And in the DNA of Black people is the true meaning of family, because we were force-fed the need for it. People lost their own blood, and the only way they could survive was creating a family with whomever was left. So my mom used to say she was glad to be poor. I could almost call his name. Talks about Black people having the benefit of the struggle. And I'll finish by saying it's important to know our history so that we fully understand where we are today. Because like it or not, in the same way that it was basically Black people that elected Biden, like Biden was done until Black people got behind him.
Right.
It's important for us to know what's best for us, because what's best for us is best for the country. And if the country can't take a look at its origin, then it loses its chance for redemption. Right?
That's really good.
And that's the reason why history is important. There are cultural off-ramps that people that don't want to take a look at history can use. One of them is color blindness. I heard that the other day. I'm
Right.
colorblind. Well, there's 3 black coaches in the NFL and 3 out of 4 players are black. We need you not to be colorblind so we can help fix that. Colorblindness is an overview, but if you're sleeping under a bridge, you don't need to go to a guy under the bridge and go, well, homelessness is actually on the decline, right? You need to help that person out. It's important for us to know where we've been so we understand where we are and we recognize what to do next. We talked about shaping our future. It's hard to know what's best for us in our future if we don't understand our present and are blind to our past. So that's it. Know your history, know your present, so we'll know how to go forward.
Wow. Listen, I see this is our historian. He's also an international celebrity performer too, but he's our historian here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So thank you for dropping such deep knowledge. And we need that knowledge. We need that history. So
Yes,
thank you for being here as our expert. And make sure that you all stay connected with Joseph and with Stephanie Wooten. And I did put their contact information, but I want to put it back up one more time. And it is in the comment sections as well. I'm going to put all of our experts' contact information up again. We have Athena Robertson, who was here today, and she is a Notary Express Public. I keep saying that backwards, but anyway, Express Notary Public, and that is her information. And again, it's in the comment sections. Tracy Randolph is here today as the Reset Coach. We have Vicki L. Evans here today as well. And then we have heard from Joseph and from Stephanie Wooten. And that is the information for Joseph and the information for Stephanie. We've also heard from Arnetta Caldwell today. And so we want to make sure that I have her information right here. It's arnettacaldwell.com. And I've put that up as well. Let me put that here so that you all can see it in the same format. arnettacaldwell.com. And so you'll be able to stay connected with her. And what I will close out with today is a video clip from our expert Pamela Howard from PamelaPlans.com, and definitely take a listen to what she's sharing. I would wait and play it next week, but it won't be relevant next week. So I got to make sure I share it with you now, and make sure that you get the opportunity to hear from her. PamelaPlans.com, and that's how we will close out today's episode, is hearing some tips from Pamela Plans. I know, Athena, you have to get back over to your job, which I'm very well aware of. So I will put the video up and you all can excuse yourselves as the video starts to play. Everyone, take a listen to Pamela Plans.
Happy
and you all are
Thanksgiving.
amazing experts. I appreciate you being here today. Monday, you're going to hear from some men. So make sure you tune in, Joseph. It's going to be some men that's part of a book anthology called My Walk Past Hell, Volume 2. And it's the men speaking by Dr. Yolanda Jerry and all of the men. So you want to tune into that. Let's take a listen to Pamela Howard. And thank you all for all being here. As you all can, after the video starts, go ahead and start to excuse yourselves. Well, God bless you all. I'll see you all on Monday, and I'll see all of the virtual studio audience members if you can stay in for another 3 to 5 minutes and hear these great tips that will change your life as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pamela Howard. I am your luxury event planning specialist, helping you plan ultimate event experiences for you, your business, and your family. All right, now let's chat about it. We are in exactly 1 week before Thanksgiving. Yay! How many is ready to eat and enjoy family and friends? So let's get started with our tips 1 week before Thanksgiving. All right, it is time to prepare that bird. So if you're like me, you probably bought your turkey already. All you need to do is start taking that turkey out of the freezer. If it's frozen, put it in something big. I recommend something like a cooler, like an ice cooler. That way it doesn't have to be in the way in your sink or taking up space in your refrigerator. You can put that big old bird in a cooler, fill it full of cold water, because not hot, because we do not want to have borne bacteria forming. So make sure the water is cool so that the turkey can take time and throw out at a really good temperature. So that is one thing that we want to start doing. And next, it is time to finally get that grocery shopping done. Now, last week we took time out and went and bought non-perishable items. Now it's time to actually start doing the perishable items. Start doing your grocery shopping and getting everything ready so you can start cooking. Now, there are always some festive activities going on. I know that here in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, we have an annual Thanksgiving Day parade. And so find out what's going on in your city. Plan to go to the parade if you're here in Charlotte, or if you're not going to be able to go to the parade because you're preparing for a big feast, then just prepare on Thanksgiving Day to go ahead and watch it as a family. Something productive. Bring out the board games. Like it's time to have fun and enjoy. Life is too short. Enjoy yourself with friends and family. Get festive with the activities. Last but not least, Black Friday. Now, I'm not the one to get out and bring out the lawn chairs and sit in long lines in the middle of the night or the early before the daylight comes out. But for those of you that are into the Black Friday, this is the time to start searching your sales paper. They're coming in your mailbox. If you still get the snail news paper, you'll have some sales in the newspaper. But you know what? Just go online, go to your favorite department stores, see what Black Friday sales they're having. And you know what? Are you an Amazon shopper? Free shipping on Black Friday. And there is something that I want to share with you called Klarna. It's Klarna. It is an online department store, an online mall is what they call it, where you can actually do shopping. See what they got going on for Black Friday. Anyway, these have been a few tips. Hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving and an even better holiday to come in December. See you next week.
Hello everyone, I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.